Hello, and welcome back to Ant's Gaming Suite. Hope you guys have been well and fantastic. Absolutely been very sick as of late, so I haven't been posting a lot of content, but today is another day, and we are going to be releasing another video on how to make a lot of gold. So Lost Ark offers quite a unique currency system with two different in-game currencies, and a whole bunch of other currencies actually I should mention, but silver and gold being the most important. Both have different uses. Silvers can be used in hooning materials, same with gold. But you can use, buying skins and whatnot in the auction house with gold. There's a lot of players that will require a lot of silver and a lot of gold, like myself, because you're going to be spending a lot of it to try and upgrade to T3, especially when you're in T3 already and trying to hit 1370, which is the absolutely pinnacle and a pain trying to do. Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to discuss with you today, give you some of my tips on how I make gold. In this video, I'm going to share with you, try to be very quick and sharp for you to help you find out in your journey of Lost Ark. But before we jump straight into the video, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, and also leave a comment section down below if I have missed any other ways to make a lot of gold. So, number one, selling heating materials on your alts or even in your main if you need to. Lost Ark has really seen a large market of dumps for T1 and T2 materials. Most of the items in the game, almost 3 times the price, is a lot cheaper. Some people are very lazy though, they don't want to farm it, and you're going to have to make a lot of alts. You can pretty much use these materials to upgrade your alt from T1 to T2 and potentially T3 in order to feed it back to your main account to get to 1400 or whatever item score you're looking to do. However, with selling gear heating material, there's certain things that you can do for you to, well, in order to get some of the materials. One, there's a whole bunch of events that you can use to unlock materials. However, some of them are untradeable. You can try joining a guild and completing guild quests for bloodstone to exchange it for gear heating materials. If you have a surplus of pirate coins as well, you can also go to T and Libra guild vessel to be found on the docks, usually outside most of the major city, to exchange it for materials. You might want to wait for auctions on any gear heating material until you have reached a suitable item level yourself. However, you can use this material to fund it back into creating a lot more gold. Speaking of which, it is one of my favorite, probably the most fastest way to make some gold in Lost Ark, by selling this material on your alts if you like to. Because unlike silver, the gold is actually shared between all accounts if you are not aware of that. And of course, it will slow down the progress of your alts, making it difficult for you to upgrade, materials from T1 to T2. However, it is going to be quick, and if you don't know where to get those hooning materials, like I've mentioned before, some other places that you can do is Chaos Dungeon or Guardian Raids, alongside with pirate coins and whatnot. So those are probably going to be your best task. However, on your alts, you can also do Unis tasks that can give you a whole bunch of hooning materials. However, they are untradeable, which you can use them for your alt if you like to upgrade them. You make it a little bit easier. Okay, so let's go on to the next one quickly. Another good way to make a lot of money is through your trade skill. Trade skill, you can access that in your stronghold. There are many quests that you can do that will help upgrade your trade skill mechanics as a side quest. And this is another way of leveling up. You can get a good amount of gold as well. Very handy technique if you really want to do that. Another thing is selling adventurous Totem collectibles. Very handy. To fill out the adventurous Totem, you will need to collect an absurd amount of these items. These can be farmed by slaying mobs. Because the drop rate is so low, sometimes people, you might not get it. Some people will be willing to pay more for it. And these collectibles tend to sell for a tasty amount of gold in the auction house. If you go to the auction house and you're really want to, max out your collectibles, then by all means go for it. So that is pretty, well, that's a huge mouthful in terms of some of the ways you can, upgrade your materials and whatnot. Anyway, the other most popular way is to complete chaos gates. They are one of the most great sources for you to get gear heating material. These endgame activities can only be completed once per day, and you can find them near chaos gates. Check the calendar as well. There is a Procyon compass or the event alert tabs in your top left hand corner, which you can take a look and see if there's any chaos gates that's going to be running. You'll be able to find when the next chaos will close for your item level, or when it's going to be open. From there, simply travel to the area, and then chaos gates drop rift pieces, which can be exchanged for gear heating material as well. So now you get secret dungeon maps that can drop additional gear heating materials, which you can sell off to make additional money. How about that? A lot of gold. All right. Another important one is completing the Abyssal Dungeon. Abyssal Dungeon is very important. However, keep in mind that you can only complete once per week. However, you can complete them across 6 different characters. If you have the ability and you've been investing a whole bunch of things to do so, you can do that. These dungeons that can be once a week, as I mentioned, so make sure if you don't have enough alt, maybe just stick to 1 or 2 alts. It really depends on how many alts you're going to create, okay? The more alts you have, the more money you're going to be making, and vice versa. So that is gonna be Abyssal Dungeon. Still not a very good way, I'd say, just because it's weekly. Another good way to make a lot of money is through rapport of your NPCs, okay? So NPC rapports are very important. A lot of the time they can give you a lot of cool things. You see, for example, if you pretty much max out a lot of them, they will give you a whole bunch of gold. 8 pieces, 800 gold already. If you look for another guy, 900, 500 right there. So doing rapports and performing emotes, sheet music, completing the side quests, ranking up your rapport for NPCs for certain will also reward you. I'm pretty sure most, if not all, will reward you with gold. If not, they reward you with some kind of cool things. That is very important. For example, you can get the legendary sailor if you like. There's a whole bunch of cool things, so I definitely recommend you do your rapport for your NPC. Second on the list is complete your chaos dungeon. Very important. These are not very reliable in terms of, I guess, in terms of your source of chaos dungeon. However, what you can do is in the second level of the chaos dungeon, sometimes you will be lucky and you will get a red portal, which will open up to a boss fight, and you can pretty much kill a very strong boss that will drop you at least 1 or 2k gold, which is very handy. It's like a pinata, and you keep killing it over and over again. It keeps dropping candies. This is pretty much the same instance with this. Pretty much ignore my green bar here. Haven't been doing my chaos dungeon just because it's not very reliable. And then I have the Una's task, as I've mentioned earlier. You can do that for some gold. Or silver if you like. However, I don't know, everything in terms of farming gold is very grindy. That's what I have to pretty much say. Other than that, chaos dungeons might be probably the only source of it, unless you want to try and merge it from the auction house, which is pretty darn hard. And that's about it. Actually, I'm going to add in one more special one. Flipping rifts, okay? You can get special treasure maps, if you trade into them. So by completing chaos gates, like I mentioned earlier, you can get these pretty much, have a chance of a very low chance actually of getting secret rift pieces that you pretty much can trade in for treasure maps. And a lot of these treasure maps will go for a lot of money, which you can sell in the auction house. And that's short and short. That's pretty much the gist of how I make money on Lost Ark. So these are some of my favorite ways. This is going to be the end of the video. I hope you learned something new today in terms of how to make gold. It's a very grindy game towards the end. If you really want to make gold, I have to say that for sure. But anyway, I hope this guide helps you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment section down below if there are anything else that I've missed or anything else I need to explain. But I will have more videos upcoming. So anyway, see you then. Peace out.